Funding for Pennsylvania's state-related universities is still unknown as the state budget impasse continues tonight. Funding increases for places like Penn State, Temple, and Pitt have House lawmakers deadlocked. And Erie News Now state capitol correspondent Brendan Scanlon joins us live tonight with the details. Brendan, good evening.
Hey there, Eva. Good evening to you. Well, that's right. In addition to the state budget, which is now over 2 weeks past due, lawmakers here in Harrisburg are also at odds about state-related university funding. Those universities including Penn State, Pitt, and Temple.
I think if we're giving over $500 million to 4 institutions, they should be able to hold the line on spending.
House Democrats are ready to move forward with a more than $600 million increase for Pennsylvania's state-related universities. But Representative Seth Grove and House Republicans are not.
The House Democrats' position is pretty simple. We just want to throw money at problems and not actually fix anything. Tuition was going up. They didn't care. They don't do anything about it. They're not fighting to lower tuition or reduce tuition.
Grove says reforms are necessary before lawmakers sign off on another funding increase.
1, a tuition freeze for students. 2, making sure all 4 institutions are under the state's right to know law so we know where the money's going and making sure it's actually going to students and so forth. Number 3, kind of a proportional representation based on number of students to make sure the money is allocated towards that.
Putting restrictions, again, on any sort of funding from the state when we should be making these investments in our institutions is not what our role in government is.
Democrat Mary Isaacson says state dollars to the institutions help keep tuition affordable for in-state residents.
They need to be assisted so that we can keep higher education on the university premier research level affordable for students here in Pennsylvania.
She says without the increase,
we cannot guarantee that there won't be tuition rate hikes for students here in Pennsylvania to attend these institutions.
And now Isaacson says it's also important to point out that these state-related universities did freeze tuition during the COVID-19 pandemic. Another really important piece to all of this is that these spending bills for the state-related schools need a 2/3 majority in both the House and Senate. The House tried to pass these bills earlier this month, but it's a bit of a tall order in that narrowly divided House. They were unable to pass it before they left to go back to their districts, and they're not scheduled to be back here in Harrisburg until December. For now, reporting live at the state capitol for Erie News Now, I'm Brendan Scanlon.